You are welcome in this space. Oh, it don't record like this. Hold on, y'all. I thought for sure it could do this. All right. I don't know if we're gonna get the same thing this way. Well, I guess that's the best I can do. Yeah. She's gonna come back on you one day. Get a understand every word you say. She was pure pride, oh, but I called her fame. When the sun is behind me, just get out my way. All right, so I am trying something here because I give a damn to me that much, and I guess I'm gonna have to read this vertically because, in all honesty, there is no orientation on here that will allow me to read horizontally. So this will be our first uh, Oracle deck reading, and this is the Children of Light tracker deck. Um, so we are just gonna give it a shot here, and this is like my passion is that deep. I can't believe that we are living in a circumstance, time, and space that we are, where we are protecting people who have even been accused of, you know, such grave atrocities. And we are not protecting them, we the people, like the powers on high are protecting them. So while we do need to figure out, like I was listening to Ali Carter's most recent, or at least one of her podcasts here recently, and she was saying how that's interesting. I don't know how old this podcast is, but it seemed like it was fairly recent based on the things that were mentioned. And she was saying, she was talking about, I think it was something managing expectations. And it was, she was saying, like, then what? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you have to be very careful how you go about dealing with these circumstances. Um, like, if you want to save our children. But so many of us don't even know what signs, like, what do we look for? What does this look like? If you're just now finding out about it, how would you know what it looks like? You know what I'm saying? So this is like a first reading of some divinely inspired phrases, keywords, yada yada, that may there's some things you can look out for. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, like, I'm gonna ask that this be guided. I'm not gonna ask that um I could just sit down here and read you all the stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I'll try to do one each week based on whatever comes out here, and then at least maybe throughout the week as you're driving, if you see something, maybe you can be more on the lookout. So I'm hoping that these words and phrases are really inspired to help us find out where this is going on and try to make steps and take steps to expose it with undeniable proof. First of all, it's exposing it isn't enough. I forget which speech or something I was listening to. It might have been one of the trials, like one of the Diddy trials or something, where they said beyond deniable proof. So I think we need beyond deniable proof that things are happening nowadays. You know what I mean? Because it's an insurmountable amount of unbelievable shit occurring. So these are this. I wasn't gonna. Well, I was gonna try it today, but I wasn't sure if I would actually do it. And then I threw my first cards, and I was like, "Oh, I get it," because this is really the first time I've ever tried this. So I'm going to show the first three I did, and then I'm going to do it the way I was told to do it, and then peace be unto you. So this is the first card I came up with. Blue minivan with air freshener hanging, right? Very random. The next one. So these three already came up, and that's what I figured I'd just have here. Trailer park, because I like, okay, what, I don't know if these are the most common places, but trailer park near railroad tracks came up after that, and we're going to have to go, as I said, vertical because of my limitations of my equipment. And then the next one was watch for sudden new friends. So just some things you can look out for, whether it's to protect your own kids or find these children. And then now we'll go through the rest of them here. Oh, we might as well keep that one. So we want to look out for people recruiting to model or dance. And that's the thing about this. Like, you don't want to go off like, oh my God, I saw, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. This is only intended to make, to inspire things in the mind that maybe if we looking out for something, we can say, hey, intuition is telling me to take a deeper look. You know what I'm saying? All right, so yeah, I'm still figuring out my setup here, folks. So I was told to do 3 to 7 cards here. So we got 3 out, but the next 3, basically we're just trying to build a picture. But you know, it would be crazy if it was all of them right. But we don't want none of them to be right because we don't want this to be going on. Okay? We don't want this to be going on at all. But if it is, we got to deal with it. So look for somebody or something that uses church missions as a cover. Like I said, still working out that setup there. I'm on it. I'm sorry, because I've been, you know what, I apologize for taking up your time with like getting things together, but you know, I have been watching some readers and I'm like, man, I gotta speed this up, and I'm always putting their stuff on like almost double speed, you know, to get through it. Like, okay, I gotta get the message, I gotta get it quick. It's not gonna be 8-8 forever. You know what I'm saying? All right. And I am not, you know, yeah, you know, if you're a OG on my channel, then you know how I roll. Look in abandoned schools. It's funny because there is actually an abandoned school not far from here. We'll take a tour one day just to see, make sure everything's copacetic. Anybody ever used to watch Ghost Adventures? Well, I say used to. It's probably still on. But TV, you know, I would dare say TV isn't the same. But it kind of isn't. Like, there was a time when South Park and Ghost Adventures came on consistently. There was a time I noticed that, hold on, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't want to get totally out the zone because we want to finish this. All right, so we got the 3 and the 3. We're going to put 2 on each side. So we'll go 2 over here. All right, maybe we're looking for, this one is tattoo of a dragon fly or a barcode or a compass. All right, and then I'm only going to flip this one because I pulled it out before I shuffled, and we are just going through divine intuition. Have your children walk in groups of 3 or more. I'm sure many of you are already doing that. But you know, something about the this whole circumstance is it's destroying families. And what some people don't seem to understand is like they don't target households with strong male role models. But then again, at the same time, there are households where the men maybe they're trying to be too strong. You know what I'm saying? And because I'm seeing a lot of circumstances where women, you know, are targeted in traffic too, you know. So I say that to say that one of them fell here. I guess that's our next card. All right. We got yellow house with overgrown yard. Everybody's gonna be cutting their grass now. I'm gonna end up on the Children of Light tracker deck oracle reading, especially not on the Lion's portal gate. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to end up there. All right. And once again, just the divinely, inspired messages that came through, and just want to do everything we can to try to eliminate this issue. And it's rough that we have all of these like tracking and surveillance mechanisms, and what we're using them for is to track the people that do PTA. You know what I'm saying? Like you got Stingray or whatever, and like I was listening to this guy's video today about gang stalking, and he was saying that, you know, you use all this stuff and the CIs can enter allegedly. All this is allegedly because this was from his channel, and I don't remember his name. I'm sorry, it was like 5 this morning, but I did a video on it and then I closed the video down. But he was like, CIs would have the permission to enter your home, and it's like, well, well, the problem is, so the CIs, he was explaining that the CIs become, they're like deputized by one of the law enforcement organizations. I'm not going to say for fear of my own existence. He said so many things straight up. I'm sitting there like, damn, it felt like cuss words. Like, I ain't allowed to say none of the words. So, and that's the thing. Like, I used to have this theory that if you were a targeted individual, you knew who the other people were that were targeting you, because they're allowed to do everything and they get away with it. And you do one thing, you make a right on red, you're busted, son, because there's somebody right there watching you. Isn't that interesting? But yet these people can do these terrible atrocities and they're never found. Nobody's using this modern technology, all these drones and things we have. To me, it should be an entire fleet of drones out looking for kids in tunnels, apparently, right? But hey, go ahead and if anybody wants to start the drone academy, I'll be happy to lead it. All right, so now we have a license plate with a Z or 77, and I think that's it. So that's our reading. Look, just divinely inspired messages that if you are trying to pinpoint something that may be going on, an inspired message that wants you to look out for a blue minivan with an air freshener, a trailer park near the railroad tracks. Watch for sudden and new friends among children that you know. Because, okay, it's the story that if y'all don't know who Stephanie Sue is, she's the girl that does Rotten Mango, and she was covering a Diddy case, and Diddy got all up in her grill like, yo, I know you, because, he couldn't say it like that because he's the diddler, and he was in jail. I mean, the courtroom, right? So anyway, this lady, man, she did this story on this lady. Oh my gosh, this lady was atrocious in what she did to children, and was like, that's what it was. They had just moved in to a new apartment, and somehow the little girl ended up playing with this lady's daughter or something. It was something like that, but you had to go check it out on her channel. No, I don't remember what it's called, but it came out before the Diddy trial. And yeah, it's just a lot of things. So anyway, back to, we're going to watch out for sudden new friends. Yeah, recruits teens or to model or dance. But we know based on the actual e-files that this is something that really happens. Like, they're targeting teens and they want a certain aspect of teens. So you want to watch out for people who claim they're recruiting teens to model or dance. Basically, everybody got to go back to helicopter parenting. And back in the 80s and 90s, they made it bad. Like even the 2000s, whatever year it was, I remember it was so uncool to be a helicopter parent. But damn it, You can't even be a helicopter parent right now. You better be Batman. Okay? For real, for real. So it says they can use the church as uh, missions. Oh, they use church missions as cover. So, you know, that is true. You hear, like, if y'all hadn't heard, there's a lot of states involved in this and countries, right? So I always look out for things that are happening that are weird in people's country. If I, or if somebody like me or anything happens to any woman or child, or God forbid, you know, just anybody for real, and it don't look right. Do y'all remember all them cases like back a couple years back when these people went over? I think it was just in Mexico, and like I think two of them made it back, and it was just atrocious. And I can't remember it all because my memory don't serve me well. And as I think a divine protection, it protects me from such, like, what? Anytime my mind says what, the other part of my mind says no, fuck that. We're not remembering this shit. No, fuck. Okay, that's what it says. So that part. And yeah, just Brazil and Costa Rica is where Malcolm Jamal Warner, who would hurt Theo Huxtable? Like, who is this big villain that doesn't want this big secret to get out? Like, what is this that's going on? So I just saw a video where Malcolm Jamal Warner's mom, apparently, you'll see it, y'all see it when you see the one that say just follow the yellow brick road down YouTube land. All right, so we want to look in abandoned schools, like whenever you get your crew together, or maybe somebody will look in an abandoned school. Let's see, what did I do next? Then we went here, so we want to just so like if you saw like five or more of these, I would pay attention because these are really random things, right? So if you somewhere and somebody mentioned church mission, you feel what I'm saying? Like, put it all together and then see if you keep following the yellow brick road. I'm gonna try to do one a week because I'm new at this and I'm still learning, and this is my way of trying to find the children. And if anybody wants to form a group to go find the kids, you know, I'll ease on down the road with y'all. But we got to be thoroughly thorough. You know what I'm saying? We got to make sure we all protectors, because I've heard about these like one, oh, what's this guy's name? I think his name is Sam something. He like a Caucasian dude. He looked like he's short. And I know that sounds weird, but he looked like he's short. And he got like salt and pepper gray hair, but it's a full head of hair. And he don't wear glasses or nothing. And he talks like he was interviewing Isaac Cappy's wife, who during the 5 hour long interview, you come to find out ain't his wife. Anyway, I forgot my point. All right, so just look for the tattoo of a dragon, dragonfly or a barcode or a compass is what Spirit is telling us to keep an eye out for. And then maybe a yellow house with overgrown yard. So that is our message for today. I thank everybody for tuning in. And as I said, this was like a premiere trial kind of thing. But, shit, if I could sit up here and rub my hands together like a Mr. Miyagi and try to help find some children in this case, then I'm definitely down with that. And I'll use whatever I can to do that. So we might be incorporating some more things to try to help expose this. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe I need to do a government deck how about a public figure deck, and maybe we can figure out based on names. Well, we know half the names, y'all. I hope you've been watching, because not here, just here, because I probably said a lot of shit a long time ago and I don't even remember it. But if you've been watching YouTube, or I can't say paying attention to TV, y'all, the other day my internet went down. And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to get back on YouTube and tell the YouTube people what I was forced to watch when I didn't have any TV, because I live in the country. So there's like, it took forever to figure out how to scan to even, observe TV because I do happen to have antenna. But if I didn't have the antenna, oh my God, right? It came up with 9 channels, and I'm telling y'all, I thought I was gonna meld into it. Like I thought I was gonna start to like it, but I'm telling you, Antique Roadshow is the most pitiful piece of fucking media ever fucking produced. I'm so sorry if you like it. Like I can get into it, but for some reason right then, absolutely not. Because when I get into it, I expect to see something that I can use of value. To me now, TV needs to be value. It needs to be feeding me intellectually, and I don't think TV ever did that. But it's weird that I can find that on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like if I just stay on long enough, or if I follow the Yellow Brick Road on YouTube. So once again, y'all, these is our little readings. I thank you for checking me out, and I'll try to do them once a week. I was definitely trying to do them on this date because so there's like 3 reindeer. I hope those are reindeer and not coyotes. Do y'all know what a javelina is? If you do, what's up, yo? Because I've lived in your region of the United States. I was like, a what? And then we saw one. Okay, so now it's 4 reindeer. All right, y'all. Peace out. Y'all want to see them? Hold on real quick. uh, okay, this is. What is them? They look like kangaroos. Do y'all know how many times I've been online this week and seen and heard somebody say kangaroo? First, somebody was doing a reading, right? It was like kangaroo, orangutan. I was like, boy, I don't know what this reading's about. Kangaroo and orangutan. And then I think I turned on another one that said one of those words again. I was like, well, I better pay attention. Fucking kangaroo. How many times do you hear the word kangaroo, right? Look, this dude is like, what? All right, y'all. Peace out. This is how the country look at dusk or whatnot. Thanks for checking me out. Blessings to everybody, and thank you, ancestors, for our divinely guided message. Peace. Happy Portal Lion Gates Portal Day.